Hello students, myself Mahesh Kumar as an IB teacher from the class 11. I hope you all are fine, fit, healthy and strong. So if you are not done the online registration for the class 11, still our school is providing the online registration for the newcomers, and kindly please inform to your friends also if they are not done any registration for the class 11. Kindly please pass this website to your friends also. So website is at http://versister.ac.in /19993-2 /. So class 11 science and commerce string informatic practices 065 subject code, and today we are going to learn the new chapter, that is the introduction to the SQL. SQL acronyms is structure query language. So part 1 video. So in this video, we are going to learn DBMS, RDBMS, and then installation of MySQL software, different data types in MySQL. So what is a database? Database is an organized collection of the data. Software used to manage the database is called as a database management system. So already in my previous video, I said that database. So all the data are stored in the organized format into the database, but you need the software. You need to software to use to manage the database. So without software, you can't able to manage the database. So in that case, you need the RDBMS software, which is supported for the DBMS. So DBMS is used to manage the RDBMS software, which I said already. So there are some softwares are available for the RDBMS: Oracle, MySQL, Sybase, Ingress. So there are the different types of the softwares are available, which I given on the slide: MariaDB, Couch, SQLite, QBird, MySQL, PostgreSQL, Firebird, Neo4j, OrientDB. So these are the softwares are there. Okay, so you can use it any one of the thing. So in this slide, we are going to install the software. Which type of the software is able to install in your PC? So there is a lot of the versions are there. According to our syllabus, we can install the 5.1 also, the latest version 8.0.20 also. So it's up to you. But before installation, you must know that whatever the configuration support to your computer. That is a very important role, because sometimes students, some of the people are downloaded the software, but afterwards when they are trying to install, it won't be supported. Because why means already 32-bit software operating system is there, but you are trying to install the 64 bits. So in the 32 bits processor, it don't support the 64 bits applications, right? So you have to download the 32-bit application software only, then only you are able to install it. And if you're having the 64-bit processor in your PC as a supporting that, so you can use the 32 also, yes, 64 also, it's not an issue, right? This is a screenshot. Select version 5.7.30 and select a operating system, which operating system you needed. You have to specify here and select OS version. So list of the MySQL softwares are available as per different processor: 32 bits, 64 bits, again 32 bits, 64 bits for various category. So you can download it. So the next slide, the same thing, where you can select the different types of the operating system, which are the operating systems are supported the MySQL. So select the operating system: Windows, Microsoft Windows, Debian Linux, Ubuntu Linux, SUSE Linux Enterprise Server, Red Hat Enterprises Linux, and Oracle Linux, Linux Generic, Oracle Solaris, Mac OS source code. So any operating systems which are given in the drop-down list, that you have to select it. According that the software will be, you can use it for your system. Then you can download for your system. So list of the software will be updated below after selecting the select of operating system. So here, according that Microsoft Windows. So three options are available in the screen. So you can download that. Next one. So another version is the latest version 8.0.20. So it is a latest where it's given the two options. So one is MSI installer, Microsoft software installer is given there. Okay, it is used for web community. So the size of the web community is less, but if you use for the computer, then you have to download 420.6 MB. Afterwards, you have to click on the download. So after downloading the software in your PC, you have to assign the password. Password is there. Without password, you don't open it. The password you have to remember for the long time. If you don't want to give the password, you can keep it. It's not an issue. But only the thing you have to remember that thing. But there is a few main rules are there which are useful in the MySQL. So first one, MySQL is not a case sensitive. It can support in the any cases like upper cases or lower case. If you written in the capital, a small letter, it's not an issue. Just like a similarity of the HTML language. Okay, so always end the SQL statement with a semicolon, just like a similarity of your C++ language. So every line is terminated with a semicolon. The same thing here also. Every line is end with a semicolon, terminate with a semicolon. It's a compulsory. So if you want to continue to the next line, so after the first line we put enter, continue on the next line, the prompt MySQL, the change to this arrow. So instead of this one, this arrow will be indicate on the screen because the continuation of your previous line. That is a reason. So after that, once you complete it, then finally you have to put the semicolon, then press the enter. Then entire line by line will be considered as a single statement. So data types of the attributes. So which type of the data are attributes supported in the SQL? So if you use for integer, like integer data type, okay, float, double, and decimal. So these are the arithmetic operation can be performed in that numeric data type. Okay, so integer, float, double. So these are supported there for the calculations, arithmetic calculation for addition, subtraction, multiplications, or percentage. So this all the things can be executed under the numeric data type, but arithmetic will not be performed in the character data, like string data. So alphabet letter cannot be performed with the arithmetic operation that you have to remember. So there are commonly used data types in the MySQL are there. Three types are there. First one is the numeric type. Second one date and time types. Third one string or character. So there are the different data types are supported in the MySQL. But here few data types I shown on this screen. Character within a bracket n. N is nothing but size of the character. So how many characters you are going to specify that. So here, if you use a character data type, the size of the character can be supported 0 to 255 character. There's a fixed length is 0 to 255 character. For example, if you declare city character within a bracket 10, for example, I just want to show you that I'm entering the input as a Surat. Surat is SURAT, so 5 letters, but I assign the 10. So out of 10, 5 letters are occupied and remaining 5 letters remain same. So for every input, your memory size will be remain same because you assign the character data type. So remaining space, it will be considered as a white spaces padded on the right hand side. So remaining space will be considered into the white spaces, but size will be remain same for the every input, whether you enter the 3 letter like Goa, so remaining 7. You are thinking that it will be removed from the, no, it's the size of the Goa also will be remain 10 only, and if you enter for the Surat, that is also 10 only, right? So like this the size will be remain same, but if you enter more than that size, so it is not possible. That you have to remember. The same manner, the varchar data type where you can store the alphanumeric characters in this one, that is a variable character data type. So this small example is given, city varchar within a bracket 10. So here also it's taken the same concept, but here the fixed length size is 0 to 65,535 characters are supported. So varchar is nothing but variable character data type. So declaring that 10 size I assign the same thing. I'm just going to give the example. Surat 5 characters are enter. and remaining 5 space will be removed from the variable character data type. Only how many letters you enter into this data type, only that letter will be considered and remaining space will be removed. Okay, it will occupy only the space needed to the store. Whatever the character you enter, that much only space will be occupied and remaining will be removed from that. So it never considered as a fixed length of 10. It depends on the every input. Next one, integer. So integer means where you can store only the whole number that is in the positive or negative. It's not an issue. So there's a range and bytes also declare. 4 bytes supported in the integer. There's a range for the negative and positive. But only the thing you have to remember, in the negative one values increase, in the positive one values minus. That you have to remember. Float. Float is nothing but include the decimal point, decimal value. So decimal value can be implemented in the float. So if you take the example for the interest column, I can use the data type float, where of course the decimal value will be generated there. Okay, the float size occupy the 4 bytes of the memory here. Next one is a date. That is a where you can implement for the date of birth, date of joining, a date of living. This all the things you can assign it. So example, online tagging, you have to declare the date, on which date you want, would you like to journey that. So that all the things will be specified with the help of date data type. So date data type is very, very important format. But here the format is y hyphen hyphen dd. Otherwise, instead of hyphen, you can use a forward slash also. So both the format is supported in the MySQL. It's not an issue. Okay. So next one is a commonly used SQL constraint. So this constraints are very, very important role in the data when you are entering into the table. So not null. Not null means any particular field is assigned as a not null means compulsory you have to update the record in under that particular column. Like example name. So name column I assign as a not null, then compulsory I have to field required in that column. If you are not enter any field, then it will be error. So that is the reason here. So column cannot have the null value, where the null means missing or unknown or not applicable value. Null denote means. So unique. Unique means all the values are updated uniquely, like distinct. But one thing you have to remember here, you can include the null value. It's not an issue. So default value. Default value is a fixed value where you can assign it like 10. So in every column, the 10, every field, under the field, every records are updated with the default value that you can specify it with that. Okay, so for the column is number value is provided. So whatever the number is you assign it or provided, according that it will be updated. Primary key. So primary key is a very important role in the table. So only one column can be assigned as a primary key, which that column is identify uniquely each record or each row in a table. That you have to remember. So any one of the column, but sometimes plenty number of the columns can be considered. Like example, uh, GR number, another one ID, right? PAN card number, driving license number. So these all the columns, whatever the field I said, this all the columns are uniquely identified. So foreign key. Foreign key means what is that? The column which is refer the value of attribute defined as a primary key in another table. So primary key is assigned in the parent table, where the foreign key assigned in the child table. So which column if you're assigning as a child table as a foreign key, in that column the value can be repeated. It's not an issue. But your parent table, which column you assign as a primary key, so all the records are updated uniquely in that column. I hope you enjoy this session. Thanks for watching. If you have any query, you can contact directly. Otherwise, you can go to the school website and specify for the doubt session part. We will sort out your doubt.